Welcome to the McAllen Cable Network Studios. I'm Roy Cantu. With me today is a very special guest, Octavio Saenz from Texas Department of Transportation, our friends at TxDOT. I-2, Expressway 83, whatever you want to call it, is going to be different for the next 3 years. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. We were looking at records and found that the meeting that we had that was here last March of last year, talking about how just traffic was going to be very bad when it came to this project. And sure enough, that has not changed. But before I continue, thank you for the invitation and thank you for everyone that's tuning in. And yes, I appear to be one of the most popular persons here in the city of McAllen today because it seems like everybody has me in their mind during their early commute. But let me explain to you what the project is and what it entails. In essence, it's going to be the project limits are from Ware all the way to McAllen. And of course, what is Bicentennial. The essence of the project is to reconstruct that overpass. That overpass for Bicentennial is going to be demolished and it's going to become an underpass. Basically, it's going to be looking like the 10th Street and the 23rd Street intersection with Interstate 2. What does that do? Well, that actually is going to amplify the capacity of vehicles that flow north and south, and it improves that mobility and fluidity between north and south, which is something that's really needed. The other thing that it does is also, at least the project, is going to elevate the bridges on 10th and 23rd. That's going to be a little bit more friendly with commercial traffic. We've had a lot of vehicles hit those bridges. And what happens when those bridges are hit constantly, there is an additional cost for repair and maintenance. So part of this project is to make sure that it's safe, make sure that it's friendly to commercial traffic, and make sure that the fluidity of the vehicular movement is thorough and has more capacity. As I stated last year, I'll say it again this year, the problem why this area is so congested is just simply because there's so much traffic. In the 8 southernmost counties that we have for TxDOT FAR District 21, that area has like around 150,000 average daily traffic, 150,000 vehicles every single day. In essence, during this project, the only thing that's really going to happen is that we've reduced 2 lanes. 1 lane that's going west, 1 lane that's going east. So you will always have 2 lanes going west and always 2 lanes going east.
And you mentioned that those 2 lanes will either be shifted to one side or the other depending on the construction.
Right. And you have to understand, in order to really get the construction going, there has to be some sort of reduction. The business of the Texas Department of Transportation is to find safe and reliable transportation solutions for all of South Texas. And those 2 lanes will always either shift on the what would be the westbound lanes or the eastbound lanes, but you'll always have two lanes going in each direction. That might throw some people off. The only thing that I ask is that when you're driving in that area, just exercise a little bit more precaution. I drove down it earlier today, and it's sad to see that not all vehicles slow down to 55 miles per hour. It's important because 2 things. You have people that are working out there, and the other one is your own safety and the safety of others.
And I know people get irritable. They're a different person when they're behind their wheel instead of like they would be in a workplace or at school or at the H-E-B store. They change when they're behind a vehicle. What could you recommend to those folks about the next 3 years of their lives?
Well, the one thing that I would always say is that I think planning is so important in everything that we do. Whether it be taking the kids to a ball game or whether it be making dinner, if you do not have a plan, there's always a level of stress that you're at on yourself. If an apology is necessary, then I give it. But in essence, what we're going through, and what the city of McAllen and the entire Rio Grande Valley is going through, is just a dynamic growth, and that's a great thing. So we look at this like a growing pain, and it's temporary, 3 years, but it's something in a structure that's going to last for a long, long time, and something that's going to be beneficial not only to us, but to our children as well.
I know you said we see 150,000 cars on the expressway on I-2 every day. But I also remember, I mean, y'all do big projects like this across the state.
That's right.
I know when San Antonio, between Austin and San Antonio, y'all were doing that construction, it's sort of the same thing. You're dealing with a lot of people on the road,
Right.
but yet you have to get the work done, and they've
Exactly.
expanded the expressway. People have asked me, why not just Bicentennial if that was the problem intersection? Why are you fixing 23rd and 10th Street also, the overpasses?
Well, because of the issue with constant hitting of those bridges. When it's something that's constant, you know it's something you have to address. And as part of the project, you realize that that's one way of improving everything. We cannot just look at one thing only and just say, okay, this is what's going to be fixed, and ignore that it's part of a network or a larger structure or a network. So that's the reason why those things have to change. And of course, you know, when we presented the public meeting a little bit more than a year and a half ago, we spoke about those needs. And the major concern, and Mayor Jim Darling said it, it's that let's stick to the schedule. As long as it's within those 36 months, that will be the ideal thing.
Are the overpasses going to look like what Mission has now? Because they have two newly constructed overpasses, which is the one on Bryan Road, and then y'all are doing one on Inspiration. Is it going to be similar to those?
It's going to be almost the exact thing. It's going to be 3 lanes going east and 3 lanes going west.
So the overpass will be higher, because that's what I noticed.
The overpass will be higher, right.
And the traffic underneath, I guess, for 18-wheelers, it will be so they can have more room.
The clearance will be much higher, and that avoids anybody hitting it. I'm telling you that has been an issue in several of the overpasses. And but the other thing that I think is extremely important is the fact that it adds an additional north-south corridor. It's an area that's really saturated with vehicles and people, and they do need that additional corridor that goes just south of the expressway.
If people, first of all, let me pay you a compliment before I keep on going on I-2. You're very good about sending out information about road closures / lane closures / everything on a daily basis to the media. My question to you is, where can people get that information so they know, hey, maybe today I'll take a detour and go around the construction, because you're going to be down to 1 lane or 2 lanes, but you know, heavy construction today or overnight, because I know at night y'all work a lot.
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, a lot of the work that had for this particular project, at least the initial work, has been done at night. Some of the removal of the barriers, the concrete barriers, the removal of palm trees. That was one of the first steps in the phase 1. There's a big part coming up with phase 1, and that's the demolition of the Bicentennial Bridge. The best thing that I can do right now, as far as asking people, is go to our Twitter page. Now, you don't have to have a Twitter handle. Just go to twitter.com and /TxDOT FAR, PHARR, or just call me directly, 956-702-6102, and I'll be more than happy to let you know what's going on.
And I know you distribute your information out to the local media. Every time we get it, we try to put it on the city website / our Facebook. So I know you have Twitter. We have Twitter and Facebook. So we'll continue to share your information so folks at home can get the information, because it is important for people to plan their day, as you say.
Right.
That's number one thing.
Right, absolutely. And because of the importance of this project, we have one Facebook for the entire state, which is a lot. But we'll be putting it on our Facebook page as well and sharing it. And I think the most important thing that we as communicators can do is communicate so that people have expectations of what's happening. And again, the traffic in that area, because of the high number of vehicles and because of the 2 lane reductions, it's going to be hectic and challenging. But that's where our community helps the individuals that are doing the engineering, and that is in keeping it safe.
And the speed limit on the construction area is 55, you said?
55 miles per
That's
hour.
still very manageable for folks, 55 miles per hour.
Considering it's 65. You know, the normal speed's supposed to be 65.
Yeah, the normal speed.
Normal speed.
And I know our good friends from the Texas Department of Public Safety are always out there too, so if you get a ticket in the construction area, it doubles, right?
It's, you know, and that's one thing that I really want to make an emphasis on. I do not want people to do things out of fear, but do things because they love their area, they love their community, they love the growth that's happening, and they're going to enjoy it. We're all going to be the better for it. We all travel through there. We all live here. We shop and live and visit and go all over from San Pedro on the way to Roma. And McAllen is a very important hub of commercial, of travel. So I think that if we do this together, because we love our community and we love I had to sound cliche, but we love each other and each other's growth. I think that's going to be beneficial for the entire region. And I think that the most important thing for me right now is just the safety. Inform individuals that those 2 lanes, that they're going to be for the next couple of years at least. But when you're traveling, please be respectful, please slow down, and watch out for the next guy.
Well, thank you very much. And we're going to continue to bring Octavio throughout this entire 3 years. You will get to see him on a regular basis, because I think this is important to share with folks out there, because there's times that you go to a construction site, you see no one working.
True.
Why is that?
Well, because think of it this way, when you hire somebody to build you a house, you tell the contractor, this is the budget, this is, I want you to finish it in this amount of days, and you decide where to go. Now, certain contractors don't have just one project, they have several. So some of them split the work. They'll do some work at night if TxDOT allows them to. Like the palm tree removal, that was done at night. A lot of stuff during this past month was done at night. So there's always a limit to the days that if the contractor does not respect, they pay what we call liquidated damages. It's like when they pay fines for an overdue book every day, but these fines are like $3,000 a day. Quite different from an overdue book. So it's not in anybody's benefit to be late with a project. Sometimes you have delays because of rain. You have delays because of utilities as well. But those things, we're trying to clear them as soon as possible and as early as possible. And being proactive in foreseeing any potential hindrances before they occur. And the other thing is just, I guess, the most important thing to know is that we're going to be doing this in 3 phases. I think one of the highlight of the first phase will be the demolition of the Bicentennial Bridge, and also the shifting of the lanes. Right now you have 2 lanes going west, 2 lanes going east on their normal direction, but those lanes are going to be shifting south. So you're going to see suddenly you're going to be driving on a lane that used to be heading the other way. So just look at the signs, follow the signs, follow traffic, and slow down, because it's a work zone, and a work zone is very fluid. And what I mean by fluid is that it's constantly changing. From one week to the next, your lane may have shifted. Just go with the flow, slow down, and pay attention to the signage. And remember, it's all done for the benefit of the community.
And of course, if you slow down, less accidents, because an accident will shut down the expressway.
Yes.
If it's bad enough. So we learned that already. There's a couple fender benders. It shuts everything down, and so then you're scrambling to get to work on time, and you're not going to make it. So be safe. We recommend everybody, if you have any questions, continue to monitor the City of McAllen, but of course TxDOT, they put it on their Twitter. You can give them a call. There's ways you can get information and just plan your day.
Exactly, and if we always say if you can choose a different route, do so. If you can avoid the area during peak times, please do so. Again, we all travel through that area, and it's at certain times it's not as bad. At peak times, it can be pretty hectic. But I think the most important thing is that we continue in communication, and I'm able to tell everybody what's going on, what's being planned, and what to expect in your day.
And I'm going to tell you, it's 3 years. Be patient. Let's all love each other for the next 3 years on the road, and sort of respect each other, because I know people get upset, but let's respect each other for the next 3 years, because this project's going to be incredible at the end. If you just travel from San Antonio to Austin, you'll notice a difference once they widened it, once they improved it. One day we will become that size, so this is very important for our infrastructure. So folks, for the City of McAllen and TxDOT, I'm Roy Cantu and Octavio Sanz.